Hello and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. Today we have Carrie Dubber, and she's basically a therapist. And Carrie, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi there. Yes, so I'm Carrie, and as Tony said, I'm a therapist, but also I work with confidence. So I'm working with people, men and women, but majority usually women come forward looking for ways to overcome that inner critic, that sense of not being enough, not good enough, that can hold you back and keep you from being the real person that you want to be. So that's who I am.
Wonderful. Yeah. And so what are the typical problems people are experiencing if they're thinking they're not good enough or these other things that you mentioned?
Yeah, so when someone feels like they're not good enough, they're not going to speak up in a way that they're saying what they really feel or their opinion that they are holding. They might not be able to communicate that or speak up about that when they're not feeling like they're good enough. They're always going to be looking out for what other people think and try to fit in. So people pleasing often comes up, and there's often elements of fearing being judged, being criticized by others. So you're going to be on super alert, looking out for signs that you might not be, um, enough, that you're being rejected socially or in some way like that. So people are going to notice all those things, and you might resonate with that. And I certainly have some of those aspects that I've struggled with myself over the years too.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we were talking about when we were in the green room. Obviously, most of us, obviously, you're a therapist. I'm a business and mindset coach, and the reason why I became a business and mindset coach is because I was struggling with these problems. And then, when I was actually learning, about neuro-linguistic programming and other techniques, and doing all these things together with people, they were asking me, hey, Tony, can you be my coach? And I really enjoyed that. And that's how I became a coach. So tell us, how did you end up being a therapist?
Oh, it's a long journey. How long have you got? Um, Growing up, I felt like I was confident, but I didn't fit in necessarily. I struggled to, I went to different schools, struggled to fit in. And I lost my confidence when I went to secondary school. It was an all girls school, and there was a lot of um, the need to fit in became very, very powerful at that point. And I started to notice at that point that I didn't really know myself. I was a very deep thinker. I'm an introvert naturally, confident but introvert. And I would absorb everything around me and try and make sure that I did and said things that other people would fit in with. And I had a very strong maternal presence. So my mum and dad split when I was very young. So I had my mum and my grandma and my auntie, and so strong female presence. But that meant that I had to fit in with what they said. They were very, they didn't mean to be, but they had very strong opinions, strong views, and if you didn't fit in, it was trouble. So you did. So if I push that forward, then I did a career, started a career because that's what I thought I should be doing. I had to do something that would be um, making money, something stable, because we didn't come from much money. So therefore, doing something that was stable was what was required. But I broke out of that and I worked for myself. I was a silk painter. Would you believe? I trained to be a town planner, and then I did silk painting. And I worked at that till I was nearly 30. And by that time, so I'd had abroad, we were working around the country, doing lots of amazing things. And then that fell apart when I was 30, and I had to start again. And at that point I was looking for what would make sense for me. And I started thinking about doing something caring, something that would involve other people. And I joined hospital radio, and it was that point going around the wards, just talking to people, understanding their story, what made them who they were, the challenges they were facing. And that led me to occupational therapy. From there, then I went into therapy, because occupational therapy, if you know what it is, it's like functional analysis. So you're looking at the narrative, the story, the meaning of activities, and linking recovery, recuperation through the activities you do. But I wanted to go deeper because I was wanting to understand what made people tick, how and why they had the meaning they had. And that led me to cognitive behavioral therapy. And I've broadened it out since. I've got lots of different strands of therapy knowledge now since then, so 20 years of doing it. I've broadened it out, but there you are, Tony. That's sort of my story. So it's come from, it's the university of life, isn't it? Personal experience. And we're struggling with understanding ourselves, our own identity. And that usually gets us on that quest, doesn't it?
Totally. And then, so can you tell us also what you are excited about in your business right now?
Yes, so I've been working with confidence and understanding that at a deeper level and helping people to really get to the core of values, identity. And what I've found predominantly at the moment, what's coming up a lot is that fear of not fitting in, that fear of rejection that's leading to a sense of loneliness and isolation. And it's really connected, so we don't feel confident in ourselves because we don't feel we belong even to ourselves. And so I'm developing a new program that's coming out in January, and I'm doing some free masterclasses in December around understanding rejection, understanding the link between rejection, the fear of rejection, and how lonely we can feel, and how we don't feel like we're belonging anywhere particularly. So that's really exciting for me because it sort of links with what I personally have gone through in my life, and I want to share that with other people.
Great, yeah. And so what's the goal once someone actually goes through your program? What's the transformation they can expect?
Ultimately, the transformation is to be able to be in relationships without the fear, without the resistance, having an openness, an open heart to being in relationships. That doesn't mean necessarily intimate relationships, it's friendships or professional relationships, because that fear of rejection influences all aspects of relationships that you have. And you will notice that people that have that experience find themselves second guessing all the time, playing down what they really want, and not being able to feel comfortable in their own skin when they're sort of getting closer to somebody. So the goal is that you are understanding of that, release that out, so you feel you can make connections fully with other people. That's the goal. Yeah.
Totally, yeah. Okay, that's fantastic. So on top of that, like if someone wants to actually connect to you, learn more about you, or find out more about what you do, how they can do that?
So I've got a link which I can share with you for the masterclass, if that's okay. I'm also, I've got my website, Carrie Dubber Therapy, YouTube that I've do little videos here and there. I'm just starting a new series that's going to be coming out this week. Um, that's going to be reading chapters of a book and acknowledging those elements of that from Brené Brown. So they can find me on YouTube, Carrie Dubber Therapy again, and Instagram, Facebook. So my name's quite unusual, Dubber. So often people do find me because it's an unusual surname.
Yeah, fantastic. For anyone watching us that want to check these links, I'm gonna leave them in the description of this episode, so you can actually click there and check it out. And then on top of that, like just before we finish, if there is any final thought, any final question, anything else you would like to share with the audience.
Yeah, I suppose if any of this resonates, just consider for yourself if you notice that there is a higher level of threat, alert, fear when you are trying to open up with people, if you're trying to say what you really think and you're fearing what other people say, um, try not to judge yourself for it, but really understand, okay, there's something going on here. Maybe I need help. Maybe I need to reach out to somebody like yourself, Tony. NLP is really helpful, CBT or a therapist of some sort. You don't have to struggle alone, that reaching out to other people and talking about it can really reduce the shame, because you'll find that a lot of people think and feel the same way about being criticized, judged. So don't struggle alone is what I'd say for sure.
Totally great point, and really thank you for sharing that, and thank you for reminding us about that, because I also personally went through a lot of challenges in my career, and yeah, it's very difficult to do everything alone, but also whenever I had coaches, and people to support me and help me, it was just great, because they can see, as we were talking about as well in the green room, they can see the blind spots, and there is a huge value in that. And then on top of that, professionals are there working on this every single day, fixing issues, problems, or challenges for people every single day, and trying to sort of like watch YouTube videos, work it out on yourself. Like, it can take years and years. Well, you can have a few sessions with someone who is a professional and just get the support, and then that can actually propel you to the next level in everything you do. So, Carrie, thanks a lot for being a guest today. Thank you all for watching and listening. If you liked it, drop us a like, subscribe, and also share it with your friends and family. And then on top of that, if you have any questions for Carrie and me, you can ask them
Thank
in the
you.
comments of this episode. See you all, and bye bye.